So how does the government know if it's doing well or not?
Oh, they just measure the GDP.
What's GDP?
It's the gross domestic product, silly. It's the primary measure of the economy's performance.
Oh. So what else can you tell me about GDP?
Well, it's also a measure of aggregate output, or the total output of goods and services. It can also be used as a monetary measure of how much money is in the economy. And it allows society to evaluate the relative worth of the vast number of goods and services produced in different years. Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to work we go. Do 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 do. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. So Walter is the farmer that grows the flour that goes into the cake. And Walter is the person who gets the egg from the chicken. Yay! Right. Walter, the farmer, gives Elyssa, the factory owner, all the materials. Which then makes the cake mix that the consumer buys.
The value-added method adds each price of the intermediate goods along the way.
Pretty much, the price of these three ingredients is equal to the price of the cake. But what you don't want to do is add the price of these three and the cake together, because that would be called double counting.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Elizabeth. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Right, so this would be the final product of what you would pay for. And
Okay, so final goods. These are the products that are purchased for final use by the consumer, and they already include the value of the intermediate goods used to make them.
intermediate goods would be stuff like the sugar, the candles, letters, eggs, and cake mix.
There are two approaches to GDP: the expenditure approach or the income approach.
The income approach is how much money is made at each stage of the process by whoever's making it. So like the wages for the farmer or for the factory worker, and how much profit is made by someone selling it to the consumer. So how much profit they get back from the consumer. And it's also the rents and interests and statistical adjustments.
She cheated me. Okay, so this is the expenditure approach. Say this is the amount of money that I had to spend, and then this is the amount a business had to invest in my products. Then the government, this would be the government taxes. And then there would be, say if some foreigners imported some of my items, and this is how much it would cost.
It's how much money spent at each stage.
Okay, for the expenditure approach, the first part of it is personal consumption, and that includes durable consumer goods, non-durable, consumer expenditures for services, and domestic plus foreign goods produced. The next part of it is investment. So all final purchases of machinery, equipment, tools, whatever, plus like the construction for it, renting or leasing things, or changes in inventories. For the next part is government purchases, and um, It includes expenditures for goods and services, consumes in providing public services. That makes sense. Expenditures for publicly owned capital which have long lifetimes, like schools and highways, and it excludes government transfer payments because they generate no production of any sort. And the last part of the equation, net exports.
Oh!
It adds exported goods because they're produced in U.S. territory, and it subtracts imported goods because they're included in the GDP of the original country. So yeah, XN, which is net exports, is the exports minus the imports.
Right.
And that's your expenditure approach. There are 4 national accounts.
Net domestic product, or NDP. Net domestic product is GDP adjusted for depreciation, which is it getting smaller.
National income, NI. National income measures income earned through the use of American-owned resources, whether located domestically or abroad. Pretty much, you get the national income through the income approach, which includes compensation, rent, interest, proprietors' income, corporate profits, taxes on production, and imports.
Personal income, or PI, I think. The personal income includes all income received, whether earned or unearned. And it doesn't include taxes or anything.
Disposable income, DI. Disposable income is the remaining income households have left to divide freely between consumption and savings. It's pretty much personal income without taxes.
Alright, so let's explain this graph here a little bit, because it's confusing. The households pay taxes to the governments, and the firms pay taxes to the government. But the government uses these taxes to give back to the public by building like highways or buildings or things that can be used by everyone. So overall, those go back to the households and the firms. Now, shut up, Walter. Okay, the inner circle is the expenditure is the expenditure approach. So the product wait, where does this start? Okay, so let's go back to our farmer thing. So that's the resource market. The resources come from the farmers, which goes to the firms. That's the people that invested in it. And they produce the output, which goes to the product market, which then goes to the households because they buy it through goods and services, which overall circles back to land, labor, and capital, since all of that profit goes back to the resource market in the long run.
Yeah.
You need to stay away. Action.
So what's the difference between nominal and real GDP? Well, GDP is a dollar measure of production, but that creates problems. So, nominal GDP is the GDP based on the prices that prevailed when the output was produced. And real GDP is when it's deflated or inflated to reflect changes in the price level.
Nancy messed up inflation. No, do it! Let's talk about price index. Let's talk about price index.
To adjust the GDP, use price index. The price index of a specified collection of goods and services in a given year as compared to the price of an identical or highly similar collection of goods and services in a reference year.
Or the first year.
Pretty much, this is the equation. The price index in a given year equals the price of a market basket in a specific year over the price of the same basket in the base year times 100.
Wait. We'll put it in pink. Times, or not pink, 100.
So, real GDP equals nominal GDP over the price index in hundredths.
This is that price index. And then the nominal, which gives you real. Ta-da! Rachel's a genius and got it on the first try.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Light those candles first.
No.
Yeah. Come on. Light the candles, and we'll sing happy birthday in the background.
I said action.
Days gone by,
When?
harmful
Like
Oh,
3
wow.
minutes ago.
people in the sanctuary for violence.
Wait, what?
I figured David Martin was
Wait, Walter needs his hat.
Adding the price of this and the cake together. Because...
professor at the seminary.
That would be
Okay.
Start over.
Oh, they just look at the GDP. Oh my gosh, you have the profit that the consumer gets from selling it, or that the person sells to the consumer and gets back the profits.
There are two approaches to GDP. The expenditure approach and the
Okay.
The households, this inner circle, shut up. I am going to murder you. Shut your face.
We should keep this.
No. You! We're not getting anything done. We have 20 minutes left. 15 minutes left. Shut up. Alright. Darn it. What am I talking about? Where does it start, Elyssa?
It
Help.
starts everywhere.
Help. I don't
Because it's a
understand.
whole circle of events.
It's a circle of life. And Where's Mom's belly?
Family troubles.
It comes from a broken home. Walter.
Press the power button on the actual computer.
Technology problems.
Walter's tech support.
Should be.
Contains stuff like money
Oh, really?
and money and
Does he go by?
huzzah.
I'd hate to be the one to break it to you.
What? What? Crap!
So this means you
Okay.
probably got it wrong on that quiz you took.
Yeah.
Walter's
Sorry.
smart.
Walter, stop playing with the bell set. Okay. No, play with my bell set. Doesn't happen. Shut up!
Donuts!